I'm sharing with you the books and resources we are using for our Ancient Mesopotamia unit. Our primary resource is the Waldorf curriculum by Live Education. This is the main lesson book on Ancient Mesopotamia. While we're using this as our primary resource, I do have a lot of other books and resources that we've added to this unit. If you want to try your own approach to a Waldorf main lesson block but don't want to buy the curriculum, I recommend a book on Gilgamesh. This is called Gilgamesh, Man's First Story, and this book has all of the stories and like the mythology of ancient Mesopotamia, and the Waldorf approach includes a lot of these stories as the basis for their main lesson block, especially for the younger grades. So if you wanted to try your own approach, I would recommend getting a book like this as well as one of the other books that I have to share with you today. We also have World Tales for Family Storytelling Part 3. And this one has a lot of really short stories that are really great as opening activity stories. And there are a number of ancient civilizations that are included. And so we did the ones on ancient Iraq for this unit. We also have Ancient Science. This book goes through different ancient civilizations and has projects, science projects that you can do related to each of these areas and periods of time in history. The next few books are more historical in nature, and including one of these along with a book on mythology would be a nice way to put together your own Waldorf approach. This one's called Ancient Mesopotamia, the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. And this one's going to give you a nice overview of the history. It's going to include some artifacts and some culture, location, things like that are going to give you the context for the stories. You may choose to read this with your children, or you may choose to familiarize yourself with the content before you introduce the lessons with your children. So the next few books I picked up from the library. This one's called Ancient Mesopotamia. I picked up 3 of them because they all have a slightly different approach as far as the reading level and the number of images and illustrations. And so I actually like this one a lot better than the other ones because it provides a little bit less information. And for this particular unit, we are not going to be spending a lot of time on it. So something like this is really helpful. If you wanted something that has a little bit more information, you can try Discover Ancient Mesopotamia. And you can see that it has what appears to be a little bit more content, although the font is a little bit bigger, and it still includes a number of photographs, which could be used to include illustrations in your main lesson book if you choose to do that kind of approach. I have yet another book on ancient Mesopotamia. This one would be probably upper elementary or middle school. It is a lot more extensive. It still includes a good number of illustrations, but the content is a lot more. So this would be something that if you wanted to get more specific about what you were learning for this time period and you wanted to spend a little bit more time, or you had older children, then I would recommend this book. We also have the DK Eyewitness book on Mesopotamia. I have mixed feelings about the DK Eyewitness books. Some of the good things about them is that you could pick up this book and read any 2-page spread and not have to read anything else in the book, and you would get information without having to have read other pages. This makes great additions to your opening activities because you could just read 2 pages and then begin on your main lesson. It's not so much a book that I would read cover to cover just because it doesn't lend itself very well to that kind of storytelling, but it is good for personal information, and it does have a lot of photographs with artifacts and things that you might not find as much in other books, and a lot of captions that explain those different photographs.